Yes, I think we are live. Okay,
Yay.
good, awesome. Okay, hey guys, so for everyone watching out in Facebook land, Extus Justin here, and I'm here with my good friend Anza Goodbar. And Anza, she's a life design strategist, and what I want to do is have her share her story today. What do we call it, Anza? From triumph to what do we call it?
From tragedy to triumph.
There we go, there we go. So from tragedy to triumph. Have a hard time saying that word, but it's okay. But with that being said, I guess I'm really excited to bring Anza here today because she just has an amazing story. After she shared with me a couple of days ago, I was like, man, we have to connect, and I have to get you on here just so you could share your story because I think it's really inspiring and really empowering. So with that being said, welcome, Anza.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. And what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Denver, Colorado.
Denver. Goodness, goodness. My good friend Alicia Barr. Do you know Alicia Barr?
I know Alicia Barr.
Oh yes, awesome, awesome. How is she? Is she a really cool person?
Oh, she is even more cool than she lets you believe she is. She's awesome.
Love it, awesome. Yes, Alicia, we were talking about you right before this. We talked about you, so you got to come in and listen. Stay till the end, Alicia, and you'll hear what we said about you.
Right.
Yes, yes. Awesome. So I guess so tell me, Anza, tell me what's your story? Because right now, I guess let's start with the end, just for the viewers listening as well too. So after hearing Anza's story, I think it's just a really inspiring story as far as because she runs a really successful business as a life design a strategist for women. And she has an amazing journey as far as how she got there. So first of all, Anza, tell us the end, which is kind of what you do and where you are right now with your business.
Sure. Um, Well, I have several facets to my business, and when I tell my story, you'll understand why. So I don't want to give that away just yet. But I run a business services company that works virtually. I also include personal development coaching, but most recently, I have really branched out into life design strategies. With everything that's going on with COVID-19, with all of the women who have been affected by losing their job or not knowing if their job is coming back, I help women reinvent themselves, retool, and be able to find employment in an unstable economy.
Love it. That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
for everyone listening, that's an amazing story. What she does right here is it's empowering and it's just amazing. But what I really want her to share is her journey as far as how she got here, because I believe that everyone sees you, and they say like, "Whoa, she's pretty successful. She has this awesome thing. She's helping people. She's changing the world." But what they don't understand, what they don't know about, is that backstory, that journey, and everyone thinks it's all smooth sailing. But tell us about your story. How did you get started on based on before you ever started your business? What did you do? What's life like for you back then?
Mm. Well, before I entered the online world, I owned a mortgage company and we were very successful. We targeted subprime credit people. And what that means is that banks couldn't help them buy houses. They didn't meet the criteria with their credit score. And so we worked with subprime lenders to help people live the American dream through home ownership. And what we did is created our own little system of helping people repair their credit. And they had to go through classes with us in order to do that. And then we would help them refinance into a better home loan. And so it was a really great business model. We were helping tons of people. We were looking forward to our best year yet. And then 2008 happened. I was sitting on the beach in Maui. Everything was great. And we came home, and one day our life changed. Mortgage lenders started closing their doors just left and right. And within about a matter of a month, we were out of business.
Okay, so
And
hang on. I want to dig in here. So you said, so the way it started for you. So you ultimately you said you started a business with your son. Is that right?
yes, my son and I were business partners in that mortgage company.
Okay, so you started it and everything was going smooth, right? Everything was great, right? Then
Mhm.
what did you say happened?
The mortgage industry crashed in 2008, and subprime lenders just closed their doors. They just went out of business. We had several instances where we were at the title company waiting for loan documents to come, just to get a phone call that says, yeah, we closed our doors an hour ago. Documents aren't coming. Sorry. You know, and we were just left high and dry. After that happened, we thought, well, maybe we could get into commercial lending and go that route. And that really didn't pan out for us. But, you know, as God would have it, I had met a woman who was a virtual assistant through networking when I was networking for my mortgage company. And she's like, you need to hire a virtual assistant. And I'm just like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Are you kidding me? You know, I need a receptionist in my office to, you know, welcome people into the office, get them coffee, whatever, make them comfortable until they can meet with a loan officer. Having someone sit in their living room, you know, 10 miles away is not helping me out. And so, you know, it's funny when tragedy hits, how your perspective changes. And so one of the first people I called was my friend Cindy. And I was like, so can we maybe talk a little bit more about what you do? Because I'm really curious if I might be able to do that too.
Yeah.
And
so,
like,
so what you're saying is that after you had the issues with the first business, now it's like, okay, what do you do now? You're trying to figure out what to do. And now you're seeing, the virtual assistant, that's the kind of route you're saying?
And, you know, and I looked at it as being, I thought that the mortgage industry was going to bounce back, that this was just a bubble. And, you know, everybody collectively was going to figure it out. And so I thought, I just need some short-term, you know, income coming in, got to keep the lights on. You know, we had 12 mortgage loan officers that worked for us. You know, they were depending on us for money for their family. And so it was like, what can we do? How can we keep things going? And my friend Cindy was incredibly successful at what she was doing. And so I was like, you know, maybe I need to give this a try. Maybe I need to figure it out, you know? So I taught myself how to build a website. I figured out how to buy a domain, and, you know, I hung out my shingle.
So hang on, you did that all yourself? Because I know most individuals, because I know a lot of, just like even with what's happening with COVID-19 today, there's a lot of new individuals coming online. And I know for them it's a little bit intimidating because they're just not sure what to do, or they're scared of the stuff. So how did you approach being new? Because your first business was offline, right? How did you? It
was offline. It was a total brick and mortar.
Yeah. How did you approach getting online and building the websites and figuring out all that stuff yourself? Because I know back then, when did you get started in the first place?
2008. So, you know, like Facebook was brand new. You know, this whole online world wasn't set up already. We had to figure it out as we went along. There were no guidebooks. There was no one to really give you training. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And people would look at me like, you do what? Are you kidding me? You can't earn a living doing that. And it was like, you know, I had been a professional event planner for 12 years. I had worked for nonprofits, you know, so I had all of these different skills. And it's always interesting to me, you know, when you would go in and try and get a job and hire somebody, and they would, or, you know, you're trying to be hired, and it's like, well, you did what? And they would never look at how those skills could transfer into what you were applying for. And so it's like, you know, I've got all these great organizational skills. I know how to set up systems. I know how to set up a business. I know how to run a business. I'm an excellent manager. I know about, you know, time and productivity and all these things. It was like, certainly I can make a business happen online. You know, certainly I can do it. And I thought, you know, I would work with nonprofits. I thought that I would work with event planning companies. I thought I could work even remotely with other mortgage companies or even banks, and, you know, I could process loans. You know, I had all of these possibilities. And, you know, that wasn't what happened in my business at all. There were women who wanted to start businesses who came to me, you know, help me. How do I do this? Or my business has stagnated. I need, you know, something. I don't know what I need. Help me figure this out. And what I really learned through all of that was you can have great products and you can have amazing customer service, but if you don't believe in yourself If you don't believe that you deserve success or that you deserve abundance and wealth, you will self-sabotage yourself. And so about 4 years ago now, I got a coaching certification so I could help women work a little bit more with the mindset part to go with the great business tools that they had together. One of my clients was told by her parents as a child that she would always be poor and she would never be able to earn a decent living and pay her bills, that her life would always be a struggle. And, you know, that was said to her when she was like 6 years old. And, you know, she's in her 30s. And it's like, I can't get beyond this point in my business, no matter how hard I work. You know, I think I'm worth more, but I can't raise my rates. I can't do it. I don't think people will buy it. And it's like, yeah, they will. You know, so I've worked with women to get to the root of where they're self-sabotaging themselves, and getting to what that belief is that they had and where that belief came from. And once they're able to change their mindset and realize, A, I am worthy, I can have whatever I want, I can build whatever I want, I'm able to do that, it totally transforms their business. It totally transforms what they believe is possible and the things that they can do then to help their clients. And it's, you know, it's almost like a domino effect. It's really quite magical.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you're in a sense doing what you love then. You built a business literally doing what you love.
I am. And, you know, the fun thing is that I can reinvent my business however I want. You know, as the economy has changed, I can shift and change with that to help the needs that I see in the marketplace. And you know, with all of the closures that have happened, it's my belief that a lot of those jobs are not going to come back. A lot of businesses will not reopen because they can't afford to. So what's going to happen with all of the displaced people? You know, they're going to need to find another way to earn a living. And one way is to create a side hustle. Maybe you can do that and replace some of the income. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you need to retool yourself and be able to be employable with the industries that are going to be hiring after COVID-19. And so, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at this. But the most important thing that I really want people to know is, you know, out of tragedy can come some really cool things. And as hard as that was in 2008, you know, we lost our homes, we lost our cars, we lost our pride. I mean, we lost everything and literally had to rebuild. And within a year of starting my online business, I was making 6 figures.
Nice, nice. So you said, so there was something interesting you mentioned. I'm not sure if I think you briefly touched it, but so when you became the what do you call it, the virtual assistant, right? Was that because how did you well, what happened there when you became a virtual assistant and started trying to figure that out? What happened there?
Sure. And even though I call it a virtual assistant, it was really more of a virtual business services company. I did some of the work myself, but I went out and I hired my friends who had skills that were needed. And so I had 11 women who joined me in this big, crazy dream that I had of working online. And I said, look, here's the beauty of it. You know, you've got small kids at home. You need to have flexibility. You're not finding that in the workplace. What if I brought work to you and you could work from home? You could be there for your family. You could, you know, make more money than having to pay before and after school childcare. So I started, you know, just talking to everybody that I knew. I put my name out on job boards. That's how it started. You know, you would go out to virtual job boards and I would say, hey, I can help you with this or that or whatever. And so I just started bringing in all different kinds of business. Some of it was admin, some of it was transcription, some of it was bookkeeping. I just literally pulled from every skill that I had that I knew if somebody else couldn't do it, if they fell short, that I could do it myself and get the job done. But it made sense for me to go out and sell the service delegate it to this group of women, I kept a portion of that, for my time, because I still had to check it. I still had to be the face of the company with the clients. And, it was great. It worked out wonderfully.
Yeah.
Several years into it, I took my daughter and my granddaughter and we moved to Belize for a while. And I just took my laptop with me and I was able just to have business as usual and sit on the beach. And it was,
That
a
is,
dream.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
so beautiful. Because that's one thing I always think about online too. Because with online, just like you said, you brought your friends to help you out. I know with online, there's sites like the Upworks and the Fivers and all the freelancers for hire. Like you could
Right.
literally build a business without having to do any of this stuff yourself. Really, you could build a business and hire a team, a virtual team that they not even have to have an office or anything like that, and
Yes.
have them all working with you and helping you build this thing, which is really, really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier than you think. One of the books that I read way back in the day when I started this was The 5-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss.
Hmm.
And so that has been a business model that I have always abided by because, there's different kinds of freedom. There's time freedom, there's financial freedom, and I want both. I want to build a business that works around my lifestyle. And in my heart of hearts, I believe every woman out there wants that too. I'm helping raise my granddaughter. And so I want to be able to have the freedom to be at her school when we resume school and, be volunteering. I want to go on field trips. I want to be there and be present, and so I need a business that can flex around what my lifestyle is. I don't work over the holidays because that's family time. That's the time that we're making family traditions, we're making memories, we're baking cookies and delivering them to neighbors and friends and, all of that kind of thing. And in the summertime, I don't want to work a lot because she's out of school.
Hmm.
We want to go to the park. We want to go to the swimming pool and do all of the things. And so I don't want to have to be tied to a desk or to an office or a 9 to 5. There's nothing worse for me than for someone to say, you have to be at your desk working between this time to this time. And it's like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do it anymore. And, I think that a lot of women really want to have that same kind of freedom.
Hmm.
And, when we lost the mortgage company, I started looking for other jobs and, they wanted to pay me $12 an hour. And I'm like, I can't, and this was a long time ago, granted, but it's like, I can't live on $12 an hour. I've built a lifestyle and
Yes.
it's not a $12 an hour lifestyle, So it's, what can I do?
Hmm.
I need to work for myself. I need to create something that fulfills my soul and, uses the gifts and talents that I have.
Hmm.
And that's the beauty of online business is you can do that.
Yeah, love it. Awesome, awesome. So perfect. So I guess with this message here, who do you want it to reach? Who's that person, that individual that you want to hear this message?
Well, right now I am really focusing on the women who have been affected by COVID-19.
Hmm.
2008, when the mortgage industry crashed, it was mostly men who were affected. Construction was affected, house building, the mortgage industry was very much dominated by men. Right now, with COVID-19, 2 out of 3 jobs that have been lost belong to women, and mostly low income earning women. And so those are the women that I really feel called to help create income and create opportunities. Because, I think one of the myths that people buy into is I have to have it all figured out before I take action, before I get moving forward. And the truth of the matter is you don't. You just need to know what your next step is. And so I want to be able to really help those women whose jobs have just disappeared overnight. And for those women who maybe will go back to a job that will not offer them the same growth potential that they thought they had before, and give them some options and help them become either employable in another industry or help them create a strategy for starting their own business.
Hmm. That's brilliant. I love it. I love it. And awesome. So you ultimately, and that's a beautiful thing about online. Even with what we're doing here right now, we're here and this message is being broadcasted to a lot of people out there, right? Because I know that we all have a tribe, we all have an audience, we all have people that if they just hear our message, they resonate with it, and they just want to kind of get with us and figure out, okay, how can I be a part of what you're up to, what you're doing? So I guess how would they? What's the best way to contact you? If someone said, "Okay, not Anza, I really love what you share with me. I really love this vision. I really love what you're about." How would they find out more about you and what you do?
Well, the easiest way to find me is my website, which is really simple. It's just my name, anzagoodbar.com. They can reach out to me via email, which is, again, super easy, anza@anzagoodbar.com. Those are the two easiest ways to find me. You can find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, again, just using my name.
Love it. Awesome. So guys, and the her links will be in the description below. So if you're watching this on the replay, be sure to go to the comment section or right above the description section and click on one of the links, check her out, follow her. She's up to some amazing things. So Anza, thank you so much for being here today. Do you have anything, any last words before we jump off?
Sure. You know what I would really just like to let everybody know is in light of COVID-19, I'm offering a 30-minute free strategy call. And so if you're stuck, if you're scared, if you don't know what your next steps are, you can schedule a call directly through my website. I would love to spend 30 minutes with you and help you come up with some ideas of some possible next steps forward.
Love it, love it. There you go, guys. So if you need it, if you want it, the links will be in the description. Be sure to connect with Anza. And yes, that's all we got. So thank you so much, Anza, for being here. Thank you guys so much for viewing. If you're watching this on the replay, be sure go into the comment section, hit hashtag replay, just so we know you're there and we could interact with you. But for now, this is it. We're signing off. Thank you so much again, Anza, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.